Episode 17. I can't believe we've made it this far and we still haven't run out of ideas for doing seascapes. It's amazing. Literally amazing. I've taken our Bob Ross liquid white, placed that onto our canvas, spread it out nice and thin. Now we're going to wash this brush off. I'll show you how we do that real quickly on our giant canvas we have today. Going to go into our odorless mineral spirits, shake off the excess into the cup, right? Twist it back and forth into a trash can, shake off the last, and then into the bucket. Into the old bucket and beat the devil out of it like Bob Ross, right? Beat the devil out of it. All right, so if this is your first time watching a Paint with Josh video, let us know where you're watching from, what time it is where you are, and what's your favorite sandwich? We always like to know. And take a little bit of our liquid white into a little dish or the top of the jar. This is what I like to use the most often. And now we're going to cover our canvas in Bob Ross liquid clear. Can everyone see?
Yes.
We can all see, so let's dab off that brush, make sure it's nice and dry. Dab it off on a paper towel, and then we're going to come in with our liquid clear, and we have to coat the bottom of this with our liquid clear, which is going to make it look more black than it already is, right? I never like taking and putting everything all in one space. So spread it out across the canvas, and then you can start to stretch that, right? Stretch it. Reach all the corners, make sure it's very light, and then we're going to take and wipe it with a paper towel anyway. Now, I know a lot of you guys know how to do this, but a lot of people don't. So we're going to show you how we do it, and that way, the next time you come to Paint with Josh, you'll already know how to have your canvas prepped, right? Prep it up. There we go. Use this giant 2-inch brush, doesn't matter because we're on such a big canvas. My goodness, take all day to get this sucker wet. So a lot of times we do this before the show starts, and that way we're ready to paint. But again, some people like to see it, they've never seen it, and they want to see how to do it. So, get that box out the way. Almost there, here we go. So, babe, where do we have anybody watching from?
We're gonna have to move the TikTok camera.
Okay.
It's like the left-hand side of the canvas isn't anything.
Okay, yeah, we will get zoomed in nice and close so everybody can see. It'd be fantastic. All right, let's wash this brush off. Well, my hand's about to fall off right now. It's so sore. There we go. We got to check the glare, make sure there's not a lot of glare for everybody. Everybody can see nice and clearly, and then we'll get started. So we're going to put our liquid clear back. All right, grab a couple paper towels, just like this. And then we're going to wipe it off, right? Wipe off all that excess clear. Don't touch your white area. Just wipe off the excess clear. We don't need it all on there. Nice and firm. Takes off a lot of that clear color. You can rotate over and do it again. Because I put on too much regularly, right? There we go. Just like that. A little bit comes off and we're good to go. Let's check the cameras. You can see, right?
Yeah, I just moved that one.
Oh, well, I didn't already move you guys. Okay, perfect. This guy, let's go over here. My heck. There we go. Nice and zoomed in for everybody. Try to minimize the glare, and then we'll get started. Do we dry this and clean it? There we go. You can always tell it's got a little bit of sheen on it. A little sheen. Okay. Everyone's going to need to grab their highly technical piece of equipment called a solo cup. This thing is about 2 cents, right? And we're going to use this to make our sunset. It's going to be gorgeous. And London told us today, she was like, we should do a dark, like stormy sunset, right? So, stormy sky. So let's put our sun over here. And then we're going to load up the brush first. I'll tell you what colors we have on our big giant Bob Ross palette. It's getting dirty very quickly. So we have our Van Dyke brown, which is the darker color browns. Dark Sienna, which is the lighter color browns. Doesn't make any sense. Cad yellow, which is the brightest yellows. Bright red, which is the only red in the Bob Ross set. Yellow ochre, which is like a real dark yellow. Phthalo green, which is a kind of sea-colored green. Phthalo blue, lighter color blue. Alizarin crimson, midnight black, and a big old pile of titanium white. So let's decide if we're going to do like a darker sky. Let's skip the 2 brighter colors for right now. And we'll go into the red. Maybe a little bit of the yellow ochre. Mostly red. I'm going to dab it in there, get our brush nice and loaded up. Look at that. Nice darkish color.
Let's do some roll calls.
Do some roll call while we paint a sunset. Watch
We
this.
got Crystal, Michelle, Wanda, Aaron Kenny, Nicole Huggs, Super Squad member watching on YouTube.
Super Squad. Pull that away. Look, we're going to push it away from the edges. Right? That's not going to be the sun. Don't worry about that. That's just the outline. Because then we're going to come in from every hour on the clock, but try to leave like a quarter-sized area right there in the middle. All right, come in, come in, come in. Very light.
Better button up. We got Cheryl, we got Crystal, we got Caitlin. Over watching on TikTok. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Really,
You guys are awesome.
We do have a live goal for the wacky, wavy, inflating, floating.
Wacky, waving, inflatable arm, flailing tube man.
There we go.
Yeah,
See,
there's our little sun right in there. All right, now let's get a little bit more of that yellow ochre. We're going to come into here, maybe a little bit of the cad yellow, and maybe there was like a brighter area, just maybe around different spots, right? Doesn't need to be everywhere, but you want to have those differences in color.
Samuel Wagaman's here.
Samuel! Just like that. It's going to look like a fourth grader's sunset until we get it all blended out. So, don't leave, right? Don't leave.
Jeremy Campbell.
Jeremy Campbell, welcome into our crimson and our red. Crimson and red now, right? Look at that gorgeous color. That's my easel wiggles and waggles. I don't like it when the canvas starts to wiggle.
Karen D'Souza's watching on.
Karen, she's a brand new Super Squad member as well. Brand new Super Squad member. And you guys are like, what is the Super Squad? I don't understand. What are you talking about? That's my YouTube channel memberships, where you can gain access to all of my class videos and deep in-depth stuff versus these live shows that, you know, can get a little crazy. We do the class videos and they're very professional. A little bit more crimson, maybe a little touch of black. Just a littlest touch of black though. Don't need a whole lot. See that? Makes it a little bit darker. That littlest bit.
Gina's in the house.
Gina! Welcome, welcome, welcome. A little bit of red. Who knows? Watch, we'll throw some brown out here in the sky too. Get a little bit of brown. Throw that out there. All right, very light little pressure. It's all going to change and mix and mash up. A little bit of blue, a little bit of black. I said that in reverse. A little bit of blue, a little bit of black over here. I always have my colors in the exact same spot, so even if I don't say it, you know where I'm going, right?
Yvonne Clement is here.
Let's come up here.
Too on TikTok.
Hey, another painter in the house. How do you like my fourth grader's sunset?
It'll get better.
It'll get better. It'll get better. All right, nice and darker colors. Deep darkness. Cover our tops of our canvas. Blend them together. The worst part is trying to recreate the color that we match underneath here where the canvas is being held. And then it's hard to match that at the end of the day, but we do it. There we go. All right, leaving these little white areas, little differences all throughout our canvas, all down in here, doesn't really matter. Let's wash this brush off. Beat the devil out of it on Sunday Seascapes.
I want to let you guys know that we do have a live goal going on right now on TikTok for 20 of the inflatable arm flailing tube men.
If you guys do it, I'll do this. Inflatable arm flailing tube man. And we'll just get paint all over the canvas. It'll be fine. So we are also trying to reach a likey tappy goal. Last time we had 115,000 little taps on the screen. So if you guys could share this, tap your screen, let the TikTok algorithm know that we're doing something cool over here that you want to see. And that might help us just reach more people. We had 13,000 people last Sunday watch. It was insane. All right, take our dry brush that we already used to prep the canvas and everything.
Shall I just go downstairs? I have it just fine.
Oh, sorry. No, because I always forget to say stuff, and that's why you're here to remind me, honey.
Oh, okay. Well, what episode is this?
This is episode 17 of our, it's actually our 88th broadcast, which is insane. 88 live shows from back, I don't know, 2 years ago until today. 88 live shows. We do 2 live shows a week nowadays, which may end up changing soon, who knows. But for the meantime, we're doing 2 live shows a week. Look at that, very cool. I'm gonna take this guy and just try to blend some of that darker color out so there's not a circle around it, right? Just push hard, get it out of the way. And the more we work on that little area, the less of that hard line is gonna be there. See that? Got very soft. Just very lightly over that white area so we don't lose it. Very cool, just like that. Okay, come up here, drag some of our crimson down. It's starting to get too bright over here, right? We wanted to make it dark and stormy. So drag some of that crimson deep into our sky. Different places, right? And you can take it and work it out, blend it out, and it'll be the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen. Oh no, we never covered the edge over here. Gotta cover the edge. Because you guys have to look at my Paint with Josh merch that you can get. Where can I get the merch, babe?
You can get the merch at www.paintwithjosh.com, or you can get the merch at www.paintwithjosh.etsy.com.
That is the place. Look at this. Take all this color, drag it. You want it darker underneath there? Take it, drag it under. You can do whatever you want to do in your sky. Your sky does not have to look like my sky or anyone else's sky. This canvas is so big, it's literally rocking the easel. Sounds like we're making whoopee on the easel over here. It's crazy. There we go. Look at that. Ooh, and we're going to take it and add all these dark clouds and stuff too. Now, this is when all this blue is going to want to grow back and try to cover our white center, right? So we don't want to allow it to get too close. And it seems like our color is dark enough on the brush. You know what I want to do? I'll add a little bit more crimson just in here. I don't know, there was a real dark area in here. And what's cool is you can shape these guys with your clouds and hide all these transitions of real deep dark color, but I like having differences. Differences in what, babe?
Differences in color.
Hey! Okay, let's come up here. We're gonna start taking the blue and dragging it in. See how it wants to grow in? It's really gonna wanna grow. And the places where it meets that red, it's gonna wanna turn lavendery purple. It's gonna be fantastic. Woo, look at this sucker grow. Look at these swipes, so they're kind of on a downward, on an angle, right? It's not just a straight across pull. Otherwise, your sky's gonna look weird.
Babe, you're not interested in how many people are here.
How many people are watching?
You have 1,000 people
watching. 1,000 people watching right now.
1,200 people.
Oh my Lord, that is insane, guys. Guys, tap the screen. My God, you're gonna give me a heart attack. 1,000 people watching.
1,300 people.
1,300 people are watching right now. Oh, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Okay. Let's gonna work it in. Oh my God, you guys are insane. Tap the screen. We want to get 1 million people watching this show right now.
1,500.
Share it to all of your friends, and we're gonna get 1 million people in here. I swear to God. Look at that. Okay, let's get off this brush. We're gonna get onto a clean brush.
Andy, thank you so much.
I want to come
for
in
the
here.
rose. We just received our first wacky
waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. I'm Al Harrington of Wacky Waving Inflatable Arm Flailing Tube Man Emporium and Warehouse. We're here passing painting tips along to you!
1,800.
1,800 people watching me be silly. That's ridiculous. Okay, look at that. Across this whole thing, bam, 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 bam. Beautiful sunset sky. Are you guys ready for some clouds? I don't want to keep you waiting. Oh my God, I'm shaking. I'm over here shaking, trying to pick up the brush off the table. Okay, I don't want to keep you waiting too long. Oh my God, I'm already screwing up. Let's do it. Okay, into our red. We go into our red and our yellow ochre over here, and that is going to make the most gorgeous shadow of a cloud for our light area over here, okay? So why don't we come in just like this? You guys see all that color? See all the color? All these little differences as we light up the sky, the yellows, the oranges, underneath our little sun. Oh, we almost forgot to put the sun in. It's okay, we'll go pop that sun in a second. Look at all this. You have to leave space down here. Oh my God, I'm still shaking. How many people are watching?
1,600.
Woo! Jesus. I forgot the windows open too, so our neighbors are probably like, what is he doing up there? There we go. Just taking it, making little circles, little things, and you start to create these cool little bits of deep, dark shadow of a cloud. Now watch as we come back with another brush. I'm going to take our white brush right here. Right? You can see because it's very clean. Then I try not to get it on any other color except the white, but we always fail, right?
Mackenzie's painting with us today on
Painting?
TikTok. Thank you so much.
Watch, we're going to come over, we're going to leave a little bit of, we're going to light up the edge, but sometimes leave a little bit of shadow to show. Right? You have to have that.
Patsy's here watching on TikTok.
Patsy, Jonathan.
John's over on YouTube.
That's fantastic. Look, leaving room for our white to grow again. Right? Just little things at random. Doesn't even matter. Just throw it up there. Right? Because we're going to take it and we're going to come down. Watch, you're going to start to see this cloud start to appear as we pull it down over our shadows, but not trying to cover everything.
By the way, Dad's here watching.
Dad, welcome, Dad, all the way from the UK. Checking out what Paint with Josh is doing today. Look at that cool little soft, little fluffy little cloud. How many adjectives can we use? Just like that. Pop it over. Make it nice and soft.
Lou and Larry Rowe are watching from Virginia.
From Virginia.
Jonathan
All right, let's grab a
Everly's
filbert brush.
here on YouTube.
We're going to go through a little bit. Jonathan Everly. And grab a little bit of white onto our filbert. We're going to come back up here.
Sam Creel is watching from Texas.
We're going to push right into our lightest area, flatten out the bristles. I'm going to try to stay out of your guys' way. It's hard to do and stay out of your way. We're going to rotate these bristles all the way around, make the most perfect little circular sun you've ever seen, right in the brightest area. So it looks like it's almost like the camera is overexposed, right? Very cool. I don't think we'll need our filbert brush anymore for the day. Thank you, Sir Filbert. You can go take a rest now. You can rest. Okay, now we're going to come back and add some more clouds in here. Maybe, just maybe up above those guys, we had a little bit darker clouds. So we get a little bit more crimson, a little bit of red, not so much yellow. Right, we'll come up here, maybe around the edge. There was again, just at random. Look, I'm going to close my eyes. Like literally closing my eyes and doing it. It doesn't matter what it looks like, right? See? That doesn't even matter. It can be very cool. We're going to come back with that same dirty brush, right? I don't like to wash brushes. I'm lazy. I don't want to wash brushes, spend all the time washing brushes all day. Then you guys would just all tune out. Boom, boom, boom. Nice little dark, shadowy little bit of a cloud, right? And what are we going to do? We're going to come back and light it up with white. We're going to come back and light it up with white. Okay? And because it's underneath, right, we lit up the top of this guy, but because this one is above our sun, we need to light up the bottom. So we can come in like this. Just kind of tap in anywhere. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. And I'm only doing it this way to try to stay out of your guys' way, right? Leaving all that dark shadow. Maybe pop in something up there. Different than how we did it here, right? But we're going to have the same effect. When you start over here, we're going to try to go upwards. Go upwards, try to stay out of the way. Light up little areas of that cloud. And then we still have all that dark shadow above it, right? And the more you do it, the more it'll be soft and gentle. Or you could leave thicker areas, but leave differences. Don't have it just be all the same. No one wants to see it all the same. Every time you look up at the sky, even if it's a bright blue sky with just a couple clouds, you can see differences in color in those clouds, and you gotta have it. You have to have it, otherwise it just doesn't look right. It looks funky, right? And this guy, if I didn't like him, I'll just blend him away. Take that top, work that color out, blend it out, get rid of it, whatever. Do whatever you want. Very cool. How many people we got now? Let's see.
1 second.
I'm going to go into our crimson, a little bit of the blue, right? Now we're going to get into our darker part of our sky. So we need darker shadows. Imagine that. Maybe over here, I don't know, we could do like a big crazy thing. You could do all sorts of stuff. Let's see. Maybe it was like, get all this deep, dark, purpley color into our giant old cloud. Right? Maybe it came out this way too. Who knows? Who knows where it went? And then we're just going to let it grow. Look, we can grow it out to the right. We can grow it out to the left. We can do whatever we want. Because we stayed on the edge of that transition of color right there, this whole blue section could be part of that cloud. You never know. Which is really the most fun bit. Now we can go and light it up and do whatever we want to do. Mix it, turn our brush over each way, this way, that way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter what your clouds look like. Doesn't matter anything. You want to add more of that color? Bring it down. Push harder. Change it. Right? Get all this giant thing happening. This guy over here. I want to leave a little bit of area of our blue, right? Got to have areas of differences. Differences in color.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much for sending through the gifts. We really appreciate it.
Right along the edge. Be messy. Bam, just like that. Very cool. Remember, leave a little bit of area to grow. It's not going to light up everywhere or every single thing. Why don't we get a clean brush now and make sure it's nice and soft. There we go. Just start to blend over that color. It's going to change and move, right? Really blend it. You don't want it to be areas of super bright white with nothing else behind, right? You have to kind of have them all make sense why it's working like that. Little things, soft little things, more pressure, less pressure. Up here, down there, over there, back here, just making a giant mess. Seeing where the brush takes you, you know what I mean? Just a giant old mess. Really pushing hard in some places, less in other places, until you like the way that it looks, right?
Guys, we do have a poll going on right now on TikTok. If you would subscribe on YouTube, click yes. If you would not subscribe on YouTube, which is free, doesn't cost you a penny to do so. We are trying to get Josh to 5,000 subscribers over on YouTube. Click yes or no, and let us know why you wouldn't.
Right, let's wash the brush off. Yeah, I mean, do I talk too much? Do I mess around too much? Because
Hey, we got some confetti. It's
Hey!
cool when it doesn't on the screen.
Confetti! That means we got a lot of people tapping. A lot of tappies. But yeah, during our, in my tutorials, it's not a show like this. It's very professional, and it's just me and you hanging out up here, kind of seeing what we could come up with, right? Very softly, very soft. And that was just a little bit of white. That's all we needed, just a soft little
we got
puff.
an inflatable flavor.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Oh, I love those guys. I love the tube men. Man, that's fantastic. Nice giant canvas
His
today too.
YouTube is Paint with Josh without the K.
Yep,
you can
Paint with
find him
Josh.
over on YouTube.
Very cool. Okay, let's take. You guys want to know how to paint a chemtrail or a contrail? No conspiracy theories around here. It's a different channel. We're gonna grab up just a little scrape of our little bit of paint, right? Little teeniest line you could possibly get. Like there's barely anything on there, and maybe out into our blue section. Maybe it popped out of the cloud. Just the softest little thing. I love putting them in there. I love seeing little pieces of us.
Dancing cactus. They're so cool. I'm so sad that you can't see.
I know,
them
right? I never
those
get to
gifts.
see. Okay, we're gonna take one swipe is all you get, so make sure it's nice and straight. That's it. There's your chemtrail off in the distance, nice and soft. Perfect. All right, now we need to add in, why don't we clean a few brushes? I like to have clean utensils. Look at these. They're just filled with every
What do
color.
you mean you like to have clean utensils?
that we've been
You were
using.
just telling them that you don't.
I know,
you don't
but
clean your brushes because
yeah,
you're lazy.
while we're doing the sky, but then we gotta have clean
Got it.
utensils. I like the sky to kind of blend in. Look at that, just how quickly everything nice and clean off of that brush. Always dab it on a paper towel though. That's my #1 piece of advice. Always dab it on a paper towel.
Carter Cattle Company.
Hey!
Josh's paints in oils. He does say it about every 10 minutes. They are oil paints. He uses
Oils
the wet on
only.
wet technique.
Wet on wet like Bob Ross used to do. I try to keep his memory alive. We do these free live shows. We do put them behind the members only wall afterwards, so we encourage you guys to tune in and watch during the live. Or sign up for the YouTube channel, which is only $79. That would be crazy. $7.99 a month to sign up for the YouTube channel, which is like 26 cents a day. All right, let's decide what we want our beach to look like.
Roberta Harris is watching on YouTube.
Roberta, let's put a little bit of our green. I love making bright, gorgeous colored seascapes. So let's say a little bit of that phthalo green. We're gonna come over here. Roberta's a Super Squad member. She can tell you all about
Sure is.
how cool those class videos are.
These are
Very
Nicholas,
gently.
these are oils.
Then we're gonna stretch that green into the area where we want the green to light up.
Jonathan Eberle's come over to TikTok.
Hey, Jonathan's over on TikTok. There we go. Try to make it as straight as you can. I don't even care that mine aren't perfectly straight horizons. Like we literally do them live, and it is what it is.
Want to let you know you've just received your first subscriber.
Hey!
on TikTok.
Thank you for subscribing to the TikTok channel. That is amazing. You are fantastic. Now look at all this. It's just a little bit of a really sharp triangle, right? Like a right angle triangle, but a very steep thing. So it's a little thicker over here, right? A little thinner over here. Now we're gonna wash that green off that brush, and we're gonna go into the blue while we drink some Red Bull. Red Bull, sponsor me, please, please. Oh no, that was paint thinner. That wasn't Red Bull. They taste the same.
Hey, more confetti on the screen. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for tapping. Man, that's cool. That's a pretty sky. I know it's not as dark as you probably wanted, babe, but it's gorgeous. Let's see, a little bit of blue. No?
Sarah, we go live on a Friday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can keep
Leave a
up to
little
date
line of black in there.
with all the information with regards to Facebook. If you head over to Facebook and follow the page over there, you'll keep up with what we're doing. Our schedule's released every Monday.
Just like that, just spreading the blue across the black. But yeah, we put a schedule out, and then you can know what time we're going live on which platform and where the videos are going to be, what videos are coming out next. London puts a lot of time and energy into setting up that schedule and putting out all the posts for Paint with Josh. So thank you, honey, for that.
You're welcome.
It takes a lot of time and effort to make those cool things that you guys see. So Enjoy them. Enjoy. Now we've got our green, we've got our blue. Now we need to have a little bit of beach color. So why don't we take a little bit of our two browns, right? We don't want to have too much of the bright browns. Let's go into the darker brown. Ooh, sorry, little burp skis. Little burp skis there. And our gross
Belinda
sticky
Raynon,
paint.
thank you so much for joining up to the Super Squad over
Hey!
on YouTube.
Super Squad member looking to get some cool content. You are in luck. A little bit of brown down in here. Right? Stays very dark. I don't want to go all the way to the bottom, so leave black. Leave black in there. That's why we're on a black part of our canvas. We want to save the black.
Red Bed Rebel just said, is it Sushi Sunday for all the hard work London does?
Haha! It very well might be, actually. Anytime anyone mentions sushi, London can't not go for sushi the next time we go. So,
Riley,
yeah.
Riley the Golden says, but 2 out of 10 last week's was.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. That was a subdued one. I need more. I need another can of Red Bull if you want a giant burp. And this one's slightly old and almost gone. Here we go.
Slightly old, like an hour.
It's still cold. Okay. Got our brush nice and clean. Now, and we're going to go over with this with our white paint, and all of these beautiful colors are going to appear. And it's going to be fantastic. Fantastic swap meet down in Las Vegas.
Leslie's
All right.
here. We have the entirely Evelyn family.
Oh my goodness,
watching.
all of the Evelies are watching.
Yep.
That is cool. Well, thank you to Jonathan Evely and Patsy and Leslie for all of these colors, the blue, the crimson, the black. We got new brown, we got new phthalo green. From Jackie, we got the brown. We got all sorts of colors. We got all sorts of things off of our wish list. So thank you guys for that.
Leslie's in the
Stick our
comments
brush.
like, hi, Dad.
All right, I'm going to get a little bit of yellow, smallest little bit of yellow, a little bit of our white, mostly white, right? And then that little bit of yellow is going to blend in with that phthalo green and make this gorgeous color back there. Gorgeous. Look at that. Just slightly yellow, mostly white.
Guys, if you tap
Then we'll
that
come
screen
back.
and send gifts, I might get sushi tonight for dinner.
See that? Just going to come out here, leaving little areas of light and dark. We don't even need to go all the way to the edge. Just out like that as our light source starts to light up. Maybe we'll flip the brush over. Come out here. Leaving those dark areas though. You don't need every single thing to be lit up, right? Doesn't work like that. Doesn't need to work like that. Very cool. Very cool. Watch, we're going to take this and start to push it out. Stretch it. Look at me bend the bristles, stretching the paint.
What is a Sergeant Pepper favorite sandwich? I'm going to have to Google that. I love it when people drop
Very
sandwiches
soft.
that I have no idea what they are, and I
Right?
have to Google what the sandwich is.
Leaving those dark areas. Watch, when we come back with a little bit of our titanium white or anything on our palette knife, you can come back and line some of the top of those dark areas with a little bit of highlight and get these far off little waves back there.
Guys, we are almost
Far away
at
little things.
45,000 taps.
Hey,
on
45,000.
TikTok.
Trying to get to 115,000.
Yeah, if you guys could do me a huge favor and share the live, that would be amazing. Let's see how many people we can get in here.
Right? Very soft. Man, very soft. Look at that. Looks neat. That looks neat. The water is never always the same. It doesn't always go the same way, so it doesn't all have to look the same. All right? I can come in, scrape up a little bit more. Don't need a whole lot. Little bit. Come across this guy over here. All right? Just shaking it back and forth. It'll dump off a little bit of white or yellow in different places. Starts to look like water coming in, doesn't it? Very cool. We're just trying stuff out half the time around here too. I'm like, oh yeah, doesn't that look nice, guys? I planned that. I really didn't. We're just trying it. Let's see. Bam, nice and soft. Do it until you like the way that it looks, right? That's all we really care about is what is it gonna look like when you do it. I wanna have my big old, I mean, we could do just a giant crashing wave in here. Just a ginormous one. Let's put something off in the distance over here though. So we're going to come in and get a little bit of our crimson and blue. We'll throw in like a very far away little thing. I'm going to brighten it up with white though. I don't want it to be super dark. So we're going to come down, brighten it up with our white. And again, it's going to mix with whatever white is out here. So why don't we do like off in the distance. There's like a little bit of just a far away little mountain out there. Very lightly, just dumping on a little bit of color because it's very far away. It doesn't need to stand out very far. Right, come in here, Come down, swipe it at different angles, different places, different pressure, and you all of a sudden you get this very far away thing that looks like our cloud is kind of coming in around it, which is very cool. Now we can come in, grab a little bit more of dark color, right? Crimson blue, a little bit more of our white, so it's not so bright.
That sounds lovely. It says roast beef with bell pepper provolone served with au jus.
Au jus? Bless you. I'm going to come in maybe a little bit taller of a one in here. A little bit darker, a little bit taller. Comes down maybe a little bit closer to the horizon. You can leave a little bit of green back in there for our water. Right? Again, doesn't even have to finish because we're going to end up putting another one down here. A little bit taller than the first one, a little bit lower and darker in color, and it'll push that other one back there. Right? Very softly. Maybe this guy went off this way. You can just pull it down in different ways. Have it blend in. Very cool. Pushes that other guy back. Down onto here, onto our water. Again, very light color back here. Still looks like the cloud is trying to come around and grab whatever's happening back there. Very cool. Very cool. You know what we could even do? Let's get a little bit of white. We want to make that color very bright again, very soft and far away.
We're at 53,000 likes.
53,000 likes. That's insane.
There is a new poll happening right now on TikTok that says, should Josh take London for sushi? Yes, 100%. Nope, gross. They are your options.
Those are the options. Very softly. Put one in way back there. Way back there. He maybe needs to be a little darker. Maybe we'll see. Put a little bit of darkness around the backside of him. And that way we have a little difference in color back there.
Differences in color.
Very softly. They're so light, they almost match the color of the sky and themselves. Man, so you can be very soft, but it just proves you can push stuff further away if you know how. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. What I want to do, though, is get a little bit of dark just to make him stand out a little bit more.
Those individuals that jump from TikTok to YouTube, not even mad.
Not even mad? Why?
Not even mad. Well, because they're still watching.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're not even mad. I got it.
No.
I thought you were saying they not even mad.
No, Belinda Reynolds says, I've been watching Josh for over a year and have enjoyed all your paintings. I also love London's accent.
Yeah, me too. That's why I married her. All right, let's come in. If we're going to do our big crasher, why don't we do this?
Cheryl says, won't let me vote. Yes, he should take her for sushi, but it's gross.
But it's gross. Okay, we're going to come in and make our little, it's almost like a moustache. Right?
Guys,
swipe it back.
If you can do me a favor and share the live, let's see how many more people we can get in the live. That would be amazing. We're almost at 60,000 likes on TikTok.
60,000. My heck. All right, let's slide some of this back. 60,000 likes, you guys. Keep tapping, tap-a-roo. There we go. That'll do. Now, there's a little bit too much brightness underneath where I want to keep it dark. So let's take a little bit of paper towel and we'll come in here right underneath that area and keep it nice and dark. That's what I want. You can always go back and just shape your waves back. Look at this. We'll push it back. Make everything nice and smooth and soft. Very cool. We can do that on this guy too. Sometimes our brush gets a little bit too big. Bam. Push it back. And of course, it doesn't need to be the most perfect thing you've ever seen, but I like having the area underneath this guy nice and dark. So keep him nice and dark, just like that. Perfect. Now our wave is going to come back over here. Really doesn't matter what happens that way because we're going to have our big crasher. So let's decide over here. Maybe we had our whole nother thing come in like that. Another little bit of a wavy motion. And in this center area, we're going to put our big wave. So why don't we come up a little bit taller, come down, take our fan brush, slide this back to that last black line back there, right? Slide it back, slide it back, slide it back. Doesn't have to add too much paint. Don't have to all be perfect. Just help it slide backwards. Slide it back. Right, maybe on this side, we got a little bit of pull, mostly to the side. Almost straight sideways pull. I don't want to have a lot of stuff happening right there. Same thing over here. We're going to start from this side, pulling back, right? Don't want to have it match up perfectly. Very cool. Got our next little bit of water coming in towards us, right? Very neat. Very soft if you can. Don't want to add a lot of that light color back into our mix, right?
We hit that 60,000 like.
See, oh my goodness. All right, now we need to decide where our next little bit of ocean is coming on, where our waves are going to crash in, which is going to be a giant left crasher, because I love the left crasher so much. So we're going to start over here, and then we're going to all into this blue. It's going to be fantastic. Fantastic swap meet. Okay. I'm going to come up. We're going to have a nice green and blue eye. Okay, let's do it. I got it. I got it planned out in my head.
You okay there, Kevin Hart?
Yeah, I got it. Okay. All right, let's grab a little bit of this white. We're going to just fill up the tip of the brush. Doesn't need to go all the way up the brush. If it does go all the way up the brush, it makes me want to push in more, which is a bad thing. You want to keep your lines nice and crisp, right? Say this guy came over here into that blue, starts climbing, and we're going to have this giant crasher come down, right? So we got to have our downward strokes, got to have our angles correct, and it'll go crashing down. The more and more we go, the more it's going to crash, right? We have all that white crashing down. And the more we go this way, the further of a pull. So you keep that S shape. That's the secret to a crashing wave, is that S pattern, right? Why don't we take a little bit of wave over here, and we can just slide this guy back as well, and then we'll pull him down and stretch him out, and it'll be very cool.
It has been decided.
What is? We're going for sushi?
84%, yes.
Fantastic. There we go. Keep our angles right. Keep everything on the same little line, right? You can even take this guy over here. We tap in a little bit, and we're just going to pull him straight down. You get all that gorgeous shiny beach back in here, right? We may have added even a little bit too much paint, which is okay. Swipe it back. All of a sudden you get that wet, sandy look on the edge of the beach over here. Very cool. Very cool. Bam, now we need to go back in and fix what we made a mistake on back here by covering too much, and come in with our dark line. Right? This dark line helps your foam sit up above that and creates that disconnecting color. What's up, baby?
Oh, nothing. I was laughing at a comment.
Oh.
Crystal said, can someone send an arm tube man? I want to see him dance.
Wacky, waving inflatable arm, flailing tube man. Right? Leaving some of that dark line. Look at that little bit of white, how it just helps it stand up just like that. It's fantastic. Even take our knife and pull back slightly, creating that little bit of foam, those little differences, right? We don't need a whole lot of detail right there. Our major detail is going to come down here in the foreground, right? This is still background music back here. It's background noise back there. We don't need a whole lot of anything to show anywhere. Fantastic. Fantastic swap meet. Let's take a little bit more of that white. We need to line the edges of our little wave right here. Coming that way, and then we go down again. That just helps that water flow, staying above that dark line. You get all those cool little things.
If you are watching on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up button. It does show YouTube that you enjoy the live. Keeps us coming back every week.
Yeah, if we do a video and we only get like 3 likes on it, why do I want to come back and do another video? There we go.
Obviously you didn't like it.
Slide that guy
almost
back.
at 70,000 likes on TikTok.
Oh my God, you guys,
Tap
70,000.
that screen. If you can, share gifts, subscribe,
There
follow.
we go. Follow for sure. Slide that guy back. Boom. Perfect. I don't know why it got so bright right here, but it's okay. We're going to cover it with all that darkness anyway. Yeah.
You're at 7,370.
Oh my goodness, we started below 7,000 today. It was like 60. I had 4 followers to go before I hit 7,000. And now you're telling me we're already at 7,300?
78.
My heck. I get a little bit of that white, bluish color right there in the eye of the wave, and then we're going to let that sucker grow. All right, so we're going to come up this way, trying to leave a disconnect, that dark line. Don't lose that. Right? If you can do your whole painting and not lose your original black down here, then 1, you're better than me. And secondly, congratulations, because that's a feat. There we go. Nice little bright area of our wave. We want it to get dark down here. We want it to rotate. You can start to see where the wave is coming, where it's growing. Maybe it went out a little bit further. Depends what you want yours to look like. That's up to you. Maybe it came all the way out there. Who knows? It's really crashing over. Big, crazy sucker, right? Now, let's wipe off that brush. Come back in a little bit more of our white paint. It's going to mix in with that blue paint and the green paint that's under here. And starting, you don't want to have, remember we got to have a disconnect between these two. So maybe back here, we start sliding it back, working it backwards to that dark line. As it comes in, getting flatter and flatter and flatter and flatter and flatter.
If you guys want to see Josh dance, the only way to make him dance is to send an air dancer. Thank you for the corn.
Air dance. Oh, a
It's
wacky
corn.
waving inflatable arm flailing tube band. Look at that. Fantastic.
A big lump of knobs. It has a juice.
Right, it's got all that foam on the top. Don't lose all those little dark spaces. Those are cool. If you leave them in there, very neat. Very neat. Now you guys can see the water. It's coming in. We're crashing in over here. Very cool.
75,000 likes.
Oh my
If we can
God.
Get it to 100,000. That would be amazing.
Guys, we got to 115 last weekend, 115,000 taps, which just shows it to more people. It helps us get in front of more eyeballs. So if you think more people should see what we're doing over here, then please help us out by tapping that screen.
Tap that screen, share the
Come
live.
in over
that
here
would be amazing.
with our fan brush at a little angle. Keep just tapping it, pushing it up, and you start to create these little bits of shadow, staying underneath our bit of water, but maintaining our S-shaped curve, right? You have to maintain this motion. It's an S. It's a wavelength. Don't mess it up. There we go. Pop it in. Got all of our dark, foamy water is starting to come down, and then it's already finally crashed over here on the side.
Thank
So we
you
have to
so
come
much
up.
for everybody on TikTok right now who's gone over to YouTube and already subscribed.
Oh man, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Now we fill it more with that dark color, and then all of that splash has to cover over some of our background color, right? So just dab it in all nastily. Just however you think water would look as it was coming down and splashing onto our foreground over here, right? Very, very cool. The more you do it downwards, the more your S shape changes. So remember to maintain that S-shaped curve. That is what is going to sell your painting. Leave some of these dark areas in where our water has come down crashing into our shadowy, foamy area, right? Now we're going to come back. We're going to grab up a little bit of our titanium, or our liquid white out of our little tube, put it in with our titanium white, right? I'm going to have about half and half mixture. And it's going to be just on the one side of the brush. We're going to come back and do the same thing. I'm going to start popping in bits of our spray over the top of the shadow, right? Don't need to cover it all. You want it to be about halfway up your shadow, and you start getting that water action as it's coming down in. Start to turn the brush, rotate, dab in different places, and you'll see your water start to come to life. Right? Falling down, maybe it's up here. All crazily, right? And we need some more paint. Take some of that very light little taps with your bright white, liquid white that's going to stick nice and easy to the top. And you can make all these cool little details of your water crashing down. Very neat. And say we come down, maybe that's where our wave begins. That's where the sandy water is going to live. You notice we've kept that little dark line in between those areas. It just helps keep it separated, right? If everything is all the same color, then we're never going to be able to tell what's going on. You have to have those little separators, those little differences. They're very neat, very cool little things. Maybe you take a little bit of that liquid white and just dab in a few little super bright white areas right there. Another little tap, another little tap. Right? I never like them to be like such a perfect straight line or anything like that. All the water is just all crazily everywhere. You can mix it in however you want, or you can come back in and add a little bit of detailed, super bright white areas. Right? Bam, 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 bam. However you want your water to look, you work at it until it looks like that. And I like it to be nice and messy and crazy. All this movement. How many people we got watching? I'm sure we've lost tons.
There's 120 people watching right now.
Hey guys, I can't believe we had 1,800 people watching at one time. All right, let's come in here. We're going to start to decide maybe look at that, we're coming into the brown section. that's our line of things. So maybe back here, we can have a little bit of foam, maybe come back in, but don't lose that little, our extra line, right? Look at that line. That's, you gotta maintain. If that's our angle, that's the angle that we gotta maintain. Okay, now, I'm gonna get all that dark color off this brush. Get it off the brush, come back, reload that brush with white. And now we're gonna imagine that taking a ball and dropped it in here and it's gonna roll and get sucked back into the wave, right? So, look at this bristle it's hanging out. This giant, look at that. This giant long bristle like a claw hanging out the top of the brush.
Splash.
Splash. Okay, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna start to grab and we're gonna start to pull backwards, right? Slightly rotating up, depends on what you want yours to look like. And then you start pulling up your wave. Where does your wave live? When does it start to curl? How much kind of rotation does your wave have, right? We'll come back in here, start to fill in that area, pulling it out. Little differences, thicker in some areas. Maybe it was a little bit brighter or thicker right there, right? Very cool. All depends what we want it to look like. And then you, at the end, that's when you start your rotations, right? And then you can really send your wave back or forward. You can make it a straight wall. You can make it a round ball. You can make it all sorts of stuff. But you got to go back far enough before you rotate over, right? Way back there. Help your wave guide itself. Just like that. Cool little things.
Absolutely amazing for people in the comments on TikTok to talk and answer each other's questions. We really appreciate the help.
You guys are awesome. Right, again, just come back in, scrub it in. Make sure you got a lot of foamy area down around here. Maintain our angle of our foamy water all the way throughout the scene. Very cool. The more and more we go over these things, the more they mix with the colors underneath. And it starts to change our little white highlights to little blue highlights or little brown highlights. Very cool. Very cool. Right? The higher we go up here, the less kind of roundness it's going to have. So in order to keep that, you want to maintain darkness around the top of your lip up here.
If you are interested in purchasing this painting or any painting that Josh has ever done that is still available for sale, you can find them over on Etsy at paintwithjosh.etsy.com.
They are all over there, and this one will be available after the show is over today. There we go. Gotta get that rotation. Right? Pull it up. Leave dark, though. It's got to act like it's going to fall over. There has to be some shadows in there. This guy got a little bit too bright, but it's okay. We can fix that. A little bit of our darkness. Come in. Just change the angle of our S a little bit.
We're almost at 90,000 likes, guys. If you can go ahead and share that live to at least 10 people, that would be amazing. Let's try and get some more people in here so they can see Josh's artwork.
Definitely. The more, the merrier, guys. Tap the screen. Help us out. There we go. A little bit of rotational water. And again, it's hard to keep those little differences and stuff when we're all using the same colors, right? Maybe a couple little drops fell down in there. Like they were coming down close. Very cool. If we could just get one, just the slightest, that works. Slightest little flick upwards, right? Like they're falling down. Bam! Right in that deep dark area that you have to keep dark. Don't even allow the eye of your wave to get over there, right? You got to keep it nice and dark and shadowy. Very cool. Seems like we're missing some spray up here. Just all over, all crazily. Until you think it looks like water, right? What does your water look like? How's it reacting? How's it coming down and crashing? How much force does it have when it comes down like that? All right, now we're going to try to keep that dark line underneath, right? So we can go back in and just feed in a little bit of our dark color under there. Just as a separator, it helps the foam sit up a little bit. It gives a little bit of height to it. That top of that dark line is really going to help us out when we come down to it. Okay, now, we need to get some bright shininess down into our water. So let's wash off one of these brushes. Into our sandy beach anyway, not water. Sandy beach. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of our yellow. There we go. A little bit of bright yellow down into our thing. We're going to leave that dark line underneath. So I'm going to start here. Leave that dark line though. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Look at how it gets less and less and less bright as we go out to the side. Right? Come in. Don't want it to be too crazy bright, and over here it's going to be longer than it is over there. We want to leave that area of dark. Leave that line of dark in there.
No, I think it just went bad.
There we go. Very light little things. Now let's get all the color off that brush. I want a nice clean brush when we go to spread it out. Otherwise it gets too much of the color. Right? Nice clean brush. We come back in and we'll spread all that color out. Very cool. Nice and dry though. I don't want to have it too wet. Let's go here.
Guys, the sound is fixed on YouTube. I just had to disconnect the...
Sideways.
I had to disconnect the Wi-Fi and come back. I fixed it. It does sound better now. I'm so sorry. I just saw the comments.
Thanks, babe. All right. Now we're all back together again. And we got our wet sandy beach, right? The more and more you work this color, the more it's going to blend in with that brown underneath, and it'll get rid of all those little swipes off our brush. Right? You can work it in as much as you want until it's nice and shiny. Leave that dark line though. Remember, don't try not to get too close to that. Nice, shiny, little bit of sandy beach. Very cool. That little piece sometimes in the middle, that piece that sticks there, stick your hand back behind it, push outward a little bit, and blend that sucker out. Very cool. A lot of times it happens up in the sky too. When you get a big enough canvas that you get that beam down the middle, it can be a pain in the beam. You get a pain in the beam. There we go. Perfect. All right, what do you think of that, babe?
Looks amazing. I don't know why you ask these questions. You know my answer's always the same.
Oh, you know, I need constant reassurance.
I know. Guys, if you're watching on TikTok, if you could go ahead and share the live, follow the artist, and tap that screen, that would be amazing. We're almost at 100,000 likes.
Oh my goodness, guys, that would be seriously amazing.
Thank you so much for the pumpkins.
Bring in our next little line of water. Yeah, seriously, thank you for the pumpkins. We love all the gifts. You guys are amazing. We literally wouldn't be here if we didn't have you guys to broadcast to. So,
Larry Rowe over on YouTube says, London, you make a fair engineer.
A fair engineer. That's funny. Okay, let's take a little bit of that. We're going to try to grab just a little bit more white onto our brush and try to slide this guy backwards from that line. Right? Having it go back, very straight pulls though. You don't want to have the water not make sense to our brains. If you go up over here and down over here, it's just not going to make any sense. So almost straight across, helping feed it back. It's like a small, small angle. Right? Back, 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 back. Keep maintaining your angles all the way. Right? Very cool. Very cool. Now, you can either take, if you can do it, a little bit of our dark line, get it back underneath that guy, help him sit up a little bit. He wants to be seen at the table. He's got to have that little bit of darkness underneath. It's like a tiny little inch of shadow in real life, anyway, an inch.
The YouTube sound broke.
YouTube sounds broken.
Broken YouTube.
Well done. There we go. Just like that. Gotta maintain.
Robot Josh is back.
Maintain those angles.
Please let me know if it is fixed. I have I'll just put it back on the Wi-Fi. That's I do not have any of the sound on. We just hit 100,000 likes.
100,000 likes! My God. You guys are awesome. I'm going to make this soft. There's so many brushes because the only brush has paint on it. Very soft. Leaving little bits of highlight, little different things. Good. There we go. Bam. My goodness, get all these cool little, you can even take if you wanted to have like a little rock, some sort of something. You can put a little guy over here. I don't know. Let's put him out in front of this guy. A neat little rock that it's about to come back and crash onto. Let's grab a little bit of brown, a little bit of white. Mix that up down here. And then we're just going to put it on the one side.
Do you have too many windows open on your iPad?
No, there's only one. It should only be this. There we go.
Oh, it
a little bit of light
atrocious.
coming from that one side. Take the bottom of our little guy, blend him out, just nice and soft. Boom. This cool little thing, a little bit of a rocky thing that our water's about to climb up into, right? And then we had one more thing in mind. I'm going to take a little bit of blue, black, crimson on our brush, and then we're going to come in here, well, above this guy, much darker color. I don't want to cover all of them.
Don't forget ghost ship.
Yeah, I know. And then we have this cool little piece of rock that's going to cover up all this stuff. All that stuff, nice and easily. Just filling it in with our fan brush, pulling it back. Especially over all this white, we're going to really have to darken it up. Take all of that white that's in there, nice bright white color, scrape it away. Come back in and fill it in. There we go. All we're looking for it to be is this nice, deep, dark shadow that stands away.
There we go. I fixed the sound on YouTube.
Again.
I don't know why it does this. I'm so sorry, guys. It's not us, I swear.
There we go. Okay, take the bottom of this guy, pull him out so he's nice and soft, and he blends in with the rest of the soft sandiness of everything, right? Very gentle, very soft little thing. Stands way out here in the foreground. Very cool. Just making it soft, pulling it, and that way we're going to have all these neat little things for our highlights to sit on. So cool. All right. Can't believe we've done this big of a canvas in an hour. 1 hour. All right, let's get our big knife, because we like doing big things with the big knife. Let's grab our 2 brown colors. We're going to mix those up down here. A little bit darker brown. We can take a little bit of our black. We can throw that in there. And that'll be our dark, kind of shadowy colors back here. This very deep darkness. Right? Or we can just start to dump it on, and you'll start to see your rocks appear. Where do you want your shadows to be? Just let it fall off, right? It doesn't have to be super filled in. I like it to be nice and broken, so you get all these little bits of light and dark changes. Right? Have it come down here. Again, don't make it all the way to the edge, because this is the dark, shadowy side. We want it to be dark and mysterious.
Oh my goodness.
A little bit of white, a little bit of yellow.
Thank you so much for the hanging lights.
Hanging lights! Those are dope.
Yeah.
Like the backyard ones, right?
Yeah.
Mix up brown, cat yellow, all that other stuff, bring it in here, start to light up what you want your rocks to look like. Again, not even covering all the shadows, right? Maybe we'll come down here with these like downward swipes. A little bit that way, start to turn, come back the other way, leave that little dark section in there, right? Got that over here, got that over there.
YouTube is just...
I don't know why.
No, neither do I. I've turned the Wi-Fi off, I've turned the Wi-Fi on.
Again, back with our lighter color, maybe we leave a little dark area in there, we come down over here, start to drag it, let it break into our shadows, right? Very cool. Very cool, leaving more darkness than light, right? Doesn't have to light up everywhere, just like that. It's a very cool little mess of stuff that's happening all right here in front of our eyes. All these cool little shadows, deep dark areas, very neat.
Thank you so much, Savannah, for the finger hearts. Really
You are
appreciate it.
amazing. Yeah. Just mixing in with that shadowy area and get this very cool little pure, straight up texture. A little bit of blur. Same angles that you pulled your knife in. Just allow that brush to just blur everything just a little bit. Couple hairs and some air, like Bob always said. And then you get this really cool texture. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna come in. Let's put a little bit more of our deep darkness back in here. Black. There we go. Just allow that to work its way in. Bam. Take some of our dark and our brown, drag that over. Very cool, very simple. And now all of a sudden we have this cool dark little bit around the bottom of our thing. Nice dark little shadow. Just by adding it in. If it's not there, add it, right? No big deal. No big deal. If it's not there, add that sucker in. Maybe I want a little bit more dark in here. Just so our shadowing makes sense, right?
They're calling for a tiny crab in the beach.
A tiny crab? I don't know if I can do that. My animals, as London will tell you, are not the best. Right, babe?
I would. Oh my goodness, we just got another inflatable flailing.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man! Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man! I'm Al Harrington, owner of Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man Emporium Warehouse. We're here to pass these painting tips along to you! God, it's so much fun to do that.
If I wasn't wearing a robe, I'd so jump up and paint a crab for you.
Come up here and paint a crab.
I am in my robe.
That doesn't mean anything. You could paint crabbies.
I know what crabs look like. I love crabs.
All right.
Sound is bad again. I don't...
We don't know why. We don't know why. All right, we're going to have to try to go very small on our ship out there. Otherwise, it's going to get very big, right? So if we had a very light little mast, we got the front of the ship in there. That's the back, right? Very small little far away thing. And if it doesn't look right by the time we get done, we can always add we can turn it into a rock. We could do all sorts of stuff, right? We got the two little things, and then it would have some cross members. Very small little cross members though. Right? Little teeny tiny ones. They're not very thick.
Sam
it's like
Creel
a hashtag.
just joined the super squad.
Hey, Sam! Joining the super squad. We're going to have to switch to a smaller brush. A much smaller brush. If we're going to try to do like a ghost ship, then that's what we're going to have to do. So we had this guy, right? That is his masts. Just with a little liner brush is all we're doing it with, right? And then we had across the front would be the big sail. So always start small. That's what I say. You start smaller than you need to. And then it might have had another sail across the bottom. Another side member, another sidebar anyway.
Oh, Cheryl is saying she didn't get her wacky wavy inflatable tube man dance.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man! Oh shoot, I just touched my own water. This canvas is so big, we're not used to ones this big. Okay, let's see. We have like, I don't know, little bits of torn bit of sail down in there, I would imagine, right? Holes in it. Maybe be able to see through. That looks kind of cool. That looks kind of cool. We are on this funky little angle over here. I want to have some of them show through, like it's ripped. Like that, yeah?
Yeah.
It's kind of ripped and torn. We can always extend the size of the boat or whatever to make it look, you know, perspectively, right? Most of those boats had like a big top section in the back that was taller than the one in the front, right? And then it had, of course, there would be like a
thing in
bit off the front, right? As it was sailing by. You got all these torn bits of...
Yeah, that's great.
Torn pieces of cloth. Different stuff where we can sort of see through, we sort of can't, right? Let's see.
Valentine, thank you so much for hanging out for pretty much the entire duration of the live. Really appreciate it.
Maybe he had a little crow's nest on the top up here. Right? Which means that guy would go up a little bit taller.
Chris Funky, thank you so much for the gifts. Really appreciate it.
Right, come down.
So pleased that we got 2 new members over.
Oh man, you guys are awesome for subscribing.
Super Squad members today.
Super Squad. It's kind of like flow off into nothing. Like it's floating.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful.
There's 2 different colors in there. There's a lighter color and a darker color.
Rilo, you are 100% confident enough to do the boat. Why does robot keep showing up? It sounds fine to me right now, so maybe try exiting the live and then coming back.
You could do the boat. Just have your little differences in there, right? It's got 2 sails, obviously. One is ripped and torn. Just kind of sat out there. Just make a mess, right? Little dangly bits.
Oh.
Little pieces coming off.
Louisa Baldwin on a different account. I've never seen that account.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Things just floating out there, right? Who knows? Is it coming in? Is it leaving? Is it just way off on the horizon? What's happening? Well, yeah, a little bit more darkness to the side, right? Because even though it's one color, it's all about the shadowing if you're using one color.
Well, that's what you get for sneaking in and making me not realize it was you.
Yeah, like that. It's got a little bit of light kind of on the top.
Sam Crow said, it's official, I'm a Super Squad member.
Super Squad! Thank you for joining the squad. You're going to love all those cool class videos or just hanging out and watching the live videos, right?
I think that's perfect if you just leave it the way it is.
I know, I need to make the crow's nest just a little bit darker. Right, just a touch.
Nicole, we got Super Squad members hanging out, chatting to other Super Squad members. That's the greatest part about the Super Squad.
Right? Get all the Super Squad members become friends. And they're like, hey, what's going on? Oh, you're here too. What are you doing today? What's going on tomorrow? Blah, 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 blah.
It's very cool.
There we go. Damn. That's a cool little ghost ship, I think, for throwing it together in just a few minutes. Again, leave some of those differences in color. Gotta have it. Kind of flowing.
It's perfect. Leave it alone.
I like it. Let's put a little bit of white just along the edge. Maybe I had a few little waves popped. Just a touch, though, right? It's the teeniest little bit. You don't even want them to all be the same. So if they are all the same, change it. Change it. And if you put too much paint on there, you can always go back with whatever color you have underneath, which is a phthalo green in this instance, and put that darkness back underneath the wave, right? So it looks like it's kind of flowing in or going out. But it's sitting up. That little bit of darkness helps it sit up a little bit taller. And that gives us all sorts of cool effects. Just like that. Very neat. Oh, man. We could have put, that's why I put him over here to the side. So I could have put another big rock or one of these mountains or something. It's awesome. I like it. I like it.
Just put a little crab on the rock on the bottom.
I don't know how to do a crab.
Yes, you do.
A little bit brown along the edge just to give, the person who's really looking at it up close, these will be those final little details that they'll get to see. These little differences in color. Very cool. Very cool. No, I don't know how to do a crab. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to try that.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, the thing with animals, they have to look like animals. Like a rock can look like a rock. Animal has to look like a crab. No, because then it's cute, but it's very cartoony. Everything else in here is like very dramatic. And I should probably practice how to do crabs and stuff. Little sea creatures.
Matt, thank you so much for the roses over on TikTok. Really appreciate it.
Amazing.
We're almost there, guys. We're at 112,000.
Oh my god, keep tapping that screen. 3,000 more to beat our record.
Sound is cursed by Ghost Ship.
Yeah, right? The ghost ship is
The sound sounds fine my end. So if it's robotic on your end, please close the live and then reopen the live window because I can only do so much. And if it sounds
Yeah, it
fine
could
my
be your
end,
connection. I mean, it could be the video's processing too. So when you go to watch it afterwards, give it an hour to process. You just gotta go through it make sure we didn't say anything bad and do all that stuff. And then it'll be nice and clear, and the sound should be good then. So, well, this turned out great. Hey, what do you think?
I think it's great. It's missing some birds.
Yes, I need the birdies. And how many people we got on TikTok now?
66.
Hey, you guys are awesome. And a lot of you probably have stayed the entire time, so thank you for that. Thank you for all the new subscribers, all the new Super Squad members. You guys are going to love those videos, and you are going to go out, all you Super Squatters, it's your job to go out and tell everyone how cool the videos are, and that there's such a deal. Why are other people not taking advantage of this deal? Right? That's your guys' job as Super Squad members. It is your job as a squatter, a super squatter, not a squatter, a squatter, to go out and get more people to join the squad, right? That is the goal. All right, so we're going to add in our little family. And the family of birds represents my gorgeous little family that is right here on camera for you guys 3 times a week.
Hey, what is this?
Wow. That's a frame I got.
Oh.
The frames were like 70% off. I had to get it was like $12 for that frame.
Oh, sweet.
I was like, yeah, I need to get this frame. Okay, let's do our...
There's also 40% off in the Etsy store right now for original canvases. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, this canvas will be 40% off.
We hit 115.
115,000 likes! You guys are awesome. You guys are really awesome. I'm curious to see how many people we had tune in, because last week we had 13,000 people tune in. So throughout the whole thing, you know what I mean? So I'm curious to see this week what we had tune in. Okay, we're gonna take a little lime brush, got nothing on it. Let's get a little bit of our liquid paint thinner, our low odor mineral spirits. So liquid clear, whatever you use it, baby oil to use to clean your brush, whatever you use.
If you are interested
Just like that.
in purchasing an original canvas, you can head over to Etsy where there's a 40% off sale. There's also sales on poster prints as well. But head over there. Katie, thank you so much for jumping in. I really appreciate it.
3 birds. They want every painting Josh painting. This is painting Josh, this is London, and that's our little daughter. And it's the only way we can travel as a family. We're flying across all these cool scenes.
She's not little anymore.
Yeah, I know. She's getting very big.
6'8". I don't know what we're supposed to do with 6'8".
6'8".
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm supposed to discipline a 6'8" person.
You're not.
Man, this one came out good, you guys. I hope everyone enjoyed it. We got the family. We need a signature in there.
The originals are normally anywhere between 100 and some change upwards.
We've got some very cool older paintings in there that are in like the $70 range right now. We have paintings that are in the $400 range, the $1,000 range, the $120 range, 150, I mean, it depends on the canvas, depends on the amount of time it took, the detail it took to create that one, how long it's been in my shop. A lot of factors go into the pricing. So go over there and check it out. You may find one that you really like for quite inexpensive, especially with 40% off. My goodness.
Yeah, right. So head over there, paintwithjosh.etsy.com. It does also support the family, so it's not just like, Josh is up on TikTok money grabbing.
Yeah, dude, we buy groceries with the money you guys send. I swear on my life.
So it is, please go check out the Etsy store. Even if you don't buy anything, please go in there, favorite the store.
Woo! What do you think, babe?
I think it looks amazing.
Thank you.
I like the fact you put just kidding in the bottom left.
Just kidding, guys. We this whole thing just kidding.
Just kidding.
Now that stands for Joshua, which is my original name from the old country. Alright, clean the brushes off. Again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, for hanging out with us. This was a good long show. It'll be an hour and a half by the time we get done. Answering all your questions. This would be a good time to ask your questions if you have any questions.
Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, and then I can get him to answer them.
How do you sign up for the Super Squad? What's the link to get there? How often do I do shows? Where else can you see me? Am I on Facebook? Am I on Twitter? Am I on anywhere else? Ask your questions that you want to get answered.
Super Squad, is there any videos on how to use the brushes like blending?
Well, in the Super Squad, you have my class modules, right? My professional class videos where I literally go very slow. I show you how to blend the colors. I try to do it in these videos too, where we show you how you blend it out and pull it back in. different things. But yeah, those class modules, if it says module 1 through 7, it is a deep, in-depth class video. I zoom in further than we ever zoom in before. You can see the bristles bend. I try to stay out of the way. It's not a show. It's very professional. I take those classes very seriously, and you know, they're the best tool you'll have to learn. Right? They'll take you from a level 0 to a painting hero. It'll be fantastic.
Jackie Cars is here.
Jackie! Jackie gave us these Gak Doctor brushes, our 2-inch brush, some paint, all from the Amazon wish list. So if you guys want to support that way, if you can't afford a painting, we need supplies in order to make these free videos, right? So go on the wish list and send us something. I will use it, and we'll mention you as often as I remember, and you know, try to get, you know, this brush. This brush is from Jackie. You know, every time Jackie tunes in, and we hear her name, we try to remember that this is the brush she got us. Or our can of brown, our tube of brown paint. This is all from Jackie. This color we had run out, and she got us more out of the wish list. So that allowed us to create more cool brown in our paintings, right? Without you guys, it gets very expensive to replace brushes, to buy all this paint, to do these videos twice a week, and you know, we need help that way. So if you're not gonna buy a painting and support the store that way, then go on the wish list. Help us get more supplies so we can keep creating.
Karen D'Souza says,
She can't find the modules.
You gotta scroll all the way to the bottom in the members only section. So you go to the members section, and you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. They're way back there. But they're there. They are there. And if you go onto my playlists, right? If you look in the playlist section, there'll be a playlist called Step-by-Step Classes, and those modules are in that playlist as well. That's all the members only videos of Step-by-Step Classes. So go find that playlist, Step-by-Step Classes, and that'll be the class videos. And only Super Squad members can access that playlist.
we just made it to 120,000.
Oh my god, you guys are amazing. Is it just because I'm scraping the paint?
Yeah, I think so.
It's ASMR. Hang on. Just ASMR scrapings. Okay. Let's take this. I'm trying to show you guys literally everything we do.
Oh, it is back.
What?
Okay, YouTube sounds like a robot.
Alright, well, we're about to be done anyway, so thank you guys for tuning in. Let YouTube process the video. If anything, we will save